All right, listen, I know I look like a mess right now, but we just got to jump into the review. It's one of those kind of days, okay? I'm a little behind when it comes to content. My tooth is feeling a little better, not gonna lie. It still hurts a little bit, but we're here. June 29th, Monday Night Raw review. Let's lock in. God, the notes for this show is just fucking insane, bro. Well, the show starts off with Oba Femi. Oba Femi has to make a choice, all right? The choice is either Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship or Sami Zayn WWE Championship going into SummerSlam. Now, I predicted both situations and could have went either way. We could have got the mega match with Roman and Oba, or we could have gotten a Sami versus Goliath matchup. Now, what I said was that either way, no matter how the match ended, we were going to get a bit of interrupting between Oba and Brock Lesnar. Lesnar was going to cost Oba his matchup, cost him King of the Ring, cost him the opportunity, cost him all of that. It was going to go down at SummerSlam. Opportunity done. I was okay with that because I knew we were going to be building towards an Oba Brock 3, but what I didn't expect is right before Oba Femi makes his announcement, Brock Lesnar's music plays. Brock Lesnar's music plays, he comes out, and Brock says he knows what it's like to win King of the Ring, and he knows that Oba talks a lot of trash, all right, and he's here to help him, all right, maybe he can help him, guide him on a path to make the right choice, you know. And then he also said he hears that Oba likes to talk a lot of smack, and he says, talk shit, get hit. The good old saying, you know. And
I called you names behind your back. Well, guess what? You're in front of me, and you're still a bitch.
So it's confirmed for SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi inside a Hell in a Cell. That one is going to be a very interesting one, to say the least. We have 4 weeks to go to SummerSlam. I'm looking forward to it personally. We come back from commercial break, and Paul Heyman is seen backstage talking with Adam Pearce. Pearce is kind of upset that he didn't get a heads up from Paul Heyman, but Paul lets it be known that, listen, like, this is a good match. This is let's be happy here. Now, as they're talking, Austin Theory walks up to them, and Theory's like, hey, Paul, I didn't even know you were here today. And Heyman kind of has a little aggression in his tone talking to Theory, and he's on some like, you know now.
Wise man, what are you doing here? I didn't think you were here. I got a match tonight. Come out with me. Let's do our thing. It's so good to see you, man. I didn't know you didn't answer my calls.
You didn't know I was here?
No.
Well, now you know.
I think Heyman is slowly getting, he's kind of off the whole vision in a whole. I mean, maybe it's just this week. Maybe when Braun Breaker comes back next week, it'll be different, but we have yet to see how Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker's interactions are post Braun Breaker losing to Seth Rollins. And it was confirmed that next week we'll be seeing a tag team championship rematch between the Profits and the Vision. So I'm curious to see what happens there. Go back to the in-ring circle, and we have Ethan Page versus Rey Mysterio. These two men had a bit of beef from last week. I didn't really catch last week's show, so I can't even sit here and lie and tell you what happened. But all I know is that there was some good matchup back and forth by both men. Rey Mysterio ends up defeating Ethan Page with a 619 into a frog splash, and well, Rey still got it. We end up cutting to the next segment after the commercial break with Joe Hendry in the middle of the ring. Joe Hendry introduces the Street Profits. Now, this is one of those Joe Hendry music kind of situations. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It took me a little second to understand and get into the Joe Hendry character. It's a gimmick. I get it now, but I don't know. Before I was expecting like for it to be a gimmick, but underneath that was some good professional wrestling. But from what I'm seeing, it's really nothing personal. Genuinely, my opinion. Shit can get swayed or changed at any point in time, especially how with wrestling and how it works. So moving on. The Street Profits are talking smack and also talking about how they're grateful to the WWE Universe and grateful to Seth frickin' Rollins for helping them get the win last week. And then they kind of talk a little bit of trash on the Vision. Austin Theory then comes out, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Theory ends up letting it be known, talk to Adam Pearce, and he has a rematch set in line for the Vision next week. The Street Profits end up bringing up a question, a very interesting question, and that being, will Braun Breaker even show up next week? Is the dog even ready to come out of his cage? Is he done being neutered by Seth frickin' Rollins? All right, jokes aside, all right. We end up getting an impromptu match between Austin Theory and Joe Hendry. A good match. It was a good match. Joe Hendry, I'm pretty sure, ended up winning. I didn't even write the results down. I kind of blanked out during this one, but I'm pretty sure Joe Hendry won this match. We end up cutting to a backstage segment where Raquel Rodriguez tells Adam Pearce that she wants an opportunity for the Intercontinental Championship.
Hi, sis. Did you get your title match?
Well, almost. I gotta get through Maxine, but it's done.
Former champions, I'm tired of that being the reason why motherfuckers get opportunities. Like, I feel like it should bring up your prestige. Like, you shouldn't be like all the way in the back of the line. Like, being a champion should definitely, like, if you have like a line of 10, it should definitely make you like 5, 6 in the rankings. But like, no, that whole champ, just because you were a champion and now there's no contenders, so you're automatically #1 contender, it doesn't make sense to me. Pretty sure last time I was watching wrestling like heavy, which was like a few weeks ago, I'm pretty sure Maxine Dupree was like getting her ass whooped by Natalya. So like, Like, what has been done to properly earn this? I'm just curious. Anyway, Adam Pearce basically says, hey, tonight it's going to be a #1 contenders match between you and Maxine Dupree. So we get a #1 contenders match tonight. Raquel Rodriguez, Maxine Dupree. That goes down later on. Moving on, Io Sky comes out and she says she is grateful to the WWE Universe. She is grateful to everybody backstage, and she is grateful to be the queen of the ring. Now, Liv Morgan then comes out, and Liv Morgan says that, you know, she only won because she got cursed. It was nothing, you know, real. There's no reason, all right, why she won. And listen, she's gonna get uncursed, and in 4 weeks, she's gonna go to SummerSlam, and she's gonna beat Io Sky's ass, all right? That's what I got from this promo. And then at this point, the Judgment Day, like, kind of do like a shield circling around the ring, and then Io Sky literally takes out each and every single one of them. It was insane, bro. Sure, as she went to the top rope, she ended up, like, getting taken out by Raquel Rodriguez and then Roxanne Perez, and you know, they all just came in and just beat the shit out of her. It was a very Judgment Day heavy episode, but at the same time, I feel like it was sprinkled in the show like perfectly. Like, it didn't feel like too much of the Judgment Day, you know? Alright, after commercial break, we end up cutting to LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. So this matchup has a little bit of backstory. It seems like LA Knight on his road to beefing with the Bloodline for the 12th consecutive year. Now that Solo Sikoa and his MFTs are done with him, he's kind of still beefing with his brothers in the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa is feeling very, very resentful towards Jimmy and Jey Uso, and seeming like he is stopping at nothing to stop them. Now, what happened the last episode of SmackDown, LA Knight let it be known that he didn't want any help from Solo Sikoa, and well, let's get into this match. Got the quick victory, and LA Knight was pissed. He was so pissed he continued to attack Jimmy Uso after the matchup. It gave Jey the green light and all he needed. He ran into the ring, attacked LA Knight. LA Knight ended up you know, getting beat down pretty badly by Jey, but as we look into the corner of our eyes, Solo Sikoa hits Jimmy Uso with a spike out of nowhere as Jimmy Uso's getting, you know, grabbing himself, picking himself off the ropes. Solo Sikoa comes in for the save. Now, as Jey sees what Solo did, he goes to the aid of his brother. As he goes to the aid of his brother, we end up seeing LA Knight catch Jey off guard and hit him with a blunt force trauma. And LA Knight and Solo Sikoa kind of have this stare off as Solo's back into the crowd, and LA Knight is standing tall in the ring, and it's a little bit of a partnership brewing between the two. Now, I do have some thoughts on this one. I'm curious to see where they go with this. I am happy they're keeping LA Knight doing something. By the way, LA Knight looked buttery smooth in the ring. I don't really know where I see this going particularly. It can go two ways. Obviously, we can end up just seeing Solo help LA Knight like try to take down the Bloodline, and that can just be their little beef, or we can see something where like Solo ends up trying to, like, I don't know, like he makes it seem like he's not really for the Bloodline, but then he ends up trying to like kiss up to the Bloodline. But I don't know, because it's also, I don't know, it's getting more in depth with more members of the family, and we're gonna talk about. We end up getting an ad after this that WWE Unreal drops July 21st. I only reason why I left that in the notes is because I want to announce to you guys I am gonna cover it over on the channel. I've been covering a lot more recent WWE stuff, so I figure why not keep the trends up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna cover WWE Unreal. We're gonna talk about it. So what I didn't know that happened after Night of Champions is this nigga Gunther and Nick Aldis had an altercation.
You know what it is? You're jealous. You would love to be in my position.
This nigga Gunther ends up pushing him. Nick Aldis said, nah, you're not gonna push me. Pushes him back, and they say, yo, get your hands off me. And then these niggas end up getting to a
Up on me.
I feel like Nick Aldis / Magnus is coming back, bro. If y'all remember Nick Aldis NWA days, bro. If y'all remember Magnus Impact Day, I mean, fuck Impact TNA days, bro. Oh my god. For what? We only got 4 weeks, bro. So by next week, I need to see Nick Aldis back on the show. I need to see Gunther talking his shit, and I need to see work getting put in. Just like that. Moving on backstage, the Usos are pretty pissed off about what just happened with LA Knight and Solo. Roman sending Jacob to SmackDown to get Solo because the Usos obviously can't get the job done. That's what I read from that situation, not even trying to be on some instigating shit. And then Jey Uso gets like pissed off, and he's like, alright, well, you might as well let me ride with you then, because I'm going to SmackDown too. Ain't it funny that we was both going to SmackDown at the same time? Sammy don't got a challenger for SummerSlam, so that's me, Us.
Well, damn. I mean, where are you going?
I'm really hoping that Jay's just kind of talking. I don't know. I'm just hoping that he's a little too riled up. Him and Sammy are gonna like have a little talk. They're gonna talk a little bit, and maybe it'll like, all right, Jay will realize like, all right, Sammy's still the dog, because that did not make sense. It came out of nowhere, and it just seems like Jay's just being hot-headed to be hot-headed. But out of anybody, Sami Zayn, that's who you're gonna go after? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me personally. Like, that's your family, bro. Like, nigga came back to the family after everything that happened. Like, it's just crazy to me. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Things is brewing up with the bloodline shit. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just being honest. Then we cut to a backstage little like package promo for Lyra Valkyria. She's a heel now, guys. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Oh, then we had this backstage segment where Maxine Dupree was walking, and then she ended up like apologizing to Chad Gable because of how she acted last week. But Gable's like, no, let me apologize. I sat here and I pretended to be Mexican for like almost a year, bro, and then I went out with injury, and I just said kind of said fuck American made, you know, fuck all that Alpha Academy shit. Like, I'm just so yeah, they're both basically like jerking each other off, apologizing to each other and shit. And then you know, Chad says, listen, like, we can do this later. Like, I want you to focus on your match tonight. Like, that's what's important. Getting back to that Intercontinental Championship, that's what we do this for the love of the game. So Maxine's like, all right, I got you. And then we end up cutting to that matchup, or we end up getting Maxine coming out, commercial, cutting back Raquel, or wait, no, it was Raquel, commercial, cut back Maxine. There we go. Very dominant match by Raquel Rodriguez. I mean, it was a good match between the two, but Raquel ended up winning like very fast. I was not expecting it to be like that. I mean, Maxine had a little bit of offense, but for the most part, it was one of those matches through and through. It was Raquel Rodriguez. She's gotten a lot more comfortable in the ring. She's gotten a lot more better in the ring. Raquel Rodriguez is a very interesting study of mine. Somebody that I've been following since the NXT days, and I keep saying it, and I'll say it again. She is one hell of a wrestler. She is damn great, and once she got rid of the smile, she's literally like a female Diesel. I'm probably gonna offend somebody out there, but that's how I feel. All right, we end up cutting to Chad Gable versus JD McDonough. Good match. Surprisingly, as commentary mentioned, these guys have never faced each other in the ring before, so that's actually pretty interesting. Not gonna lie. Gable ended up winning with an ankle lock, and then Danhausen ended up distracting Dominic Mysterio and shit. Dominic ran up the crowd to like go after Danhausen and shit, and then, or I'm pretty sure ran away from Danhausen. Regardless, Dominic ran away from the matchup, and that gave Gable what he needed to, because JD was distracted. Hit that sweet ass superplex. Then he went in for that ankle lock drop down. That shit was clean as fuck. It was per angle. And then, you know, Gable got the win and shit. Now, as he did that, the Judgment Day is like, it's okay. We had the money earlier tonight. They stole some money from the Danhausen like clubhouse thing that he be in. Like, they end up stealing like a briefcase full of money and shit in his Knicks jersey. So they ended up opening the briefcase, and like the money was in there, but it was also like one of those like poof things, and it was like mad powder, and it hit him and shit. So they were like, oh my god. And then Danhausen, as they're both like all over the place, he ends up like snatching his jersey back and shit, and he ends up running up the entrance, the aisle, as he's like on the top of the entrance, and he's like, I got my jersey back. Raquel Rodriguez just fucking appears like Darth Vader and takes that shit back. And that nigga Danhausen, like when the camera looked back to see Danhausen, that nigga was gone. Cockroach. Immediately just gone. So yeah, Judgment Day ends up getting the jersey back. They're beefing over a jersey. It's a side plot, so I'm not too worried about it. Like, at least this is just Dominic's side of things right now. Dominic can't be in anything good all year around. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta level it out. Right now, we got the Raquel, and we're gonna have Raquel and Soruka. We're gonna have Raquel and Soruka. Somewhere in there, Roxanne's gonna mix it up in there, and then on, you know, on the more high end, we have Liv Morgan and Io Sky. So Judgment Day is doing stuff. So I'm not too upset with this. They fit for the funny character role. So again, I'm not upset with this. I don't mind this. Anyway, we end up cutting backstage to a segment with Austin Theory and Maxine Dupree in the timeline. Right? Bro was hitting his workouts. Maxine Dupree walked past this nigga and then walked her ass back over to Chad Gable just to say, oh, I'm sorry, I tweaked on you last week. Even though the only reason why I tweaked on you is because you was acting like a dickhead for a whole year. Drop your team for acting like your friends didn't know you and shit. Like, I'm mad confused, bro. Like, this is my problem. I'm all for storylines where people don't just magically forgive. I love the continuity in that. I love that you have to earn people's trust back, but it should also be okay for you not to earn people's trust. Like, it should be okay for you not to end up being, you know what I mean? Like, I like that. Like, that's why I like characters like LA Knight and Seth Rollins. Like, you have those characters where no matter what, like, I'm not gonna forget what you did. Like, I loved that when it came to LA Knight, when it came to the Jey Uso redemption. Like, everybody was forgiving him. Same with Drew McIntyre. Like, just because Kevin Owens another one. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of niggas right now. Like, every time like something happens, they're not just gonna forgive you. Like, it could happen. We might end up needing to be in like a team to, like, you know, best friends, bitter enemies type shit. Like, we, you know what I'm saying? But like, we got two enemy, we both of us got the same enemy type shit. But other than that, like, there's no reason why everybody should forgive Chad Gable for moving the way he was moving. Like, there's no reason why every luchador should slowly forgive him, and by the end of the year or next year, Chad Gable is magically necessarily just a good guy babyface. He needs to be a babyface. He needs to be a champion in the future. Intercontinental WWE with those same bag, with that same baggage, with those same mistakes from the past. Sometimes in life you make mistakes and you just gotta deal with that. You know how many people lose the love of their life? You know what I mean? Doing some dumb shit, cheating, doing the worst shit ever, and like they become good people later on down the line, and I doubt they forget about it, and I doubt those people forgive them because they were hurt at one point, and that's okay. It's okay to continue your life and end up becoming a better person, but still having those bad things that you did before and not forgetting them, not just mentioning them and those being like, hey, remember when I was a bad guy? Like, no, like knowing that what I did still affects some people. That's okay. I'm okay with that because that's human. That's life. I don't like that Maxine Dupri's coming around to Chad Gable personally. Like, I just don't like it. It just doesn't make any sense. And then no, Maxine Dupri, then she gonna go, oh, it's complicated.
I'm not talking about Raquel. I'm talking about what you said to Chad.
Chad is complicated.
Complicated? This right here is simple. If you want to go back down that road, maybe this ain't working out.
What's complicated about it? There ain't. We seen it on TV all year. There ain't nothing complicated about it. It was a straight line. Like what? Maxine, and then this nigga Austin Theory, like he know his worth type shit. Like I fuck with Austin Theory. Like Austin Theory basically said like there's there's nothing complicated about it. Like, and if it is complicated, like this is easy. Like why wouldn't you want to be with easy over complicated? Like you playing. If it's so complicated, if you need to sort your mind out so much about Chad Gable, maybe this ain't working out. So yeah, I'm pretty sure like Austin Theory broke up with her. I'm not like 100% sure, but like almost sure he broke up with her. So we ended up getting some SummerSlam matches confirmed. There was Oba versus Brock in a steel cage. Great match. Can't wait for that. And then it's gonna be Liv versus Io.
Acknowledge me.
Hey baby, the tribal chief is in town and he not playing no game. Bro started off hot and heavy. I ain't gonna lie. Roman just automatically everybody acknowledge me. This nigga Seth Rollins music played and they got personal, bro. They got personal. They have a little bit of a stare down as the crowd's going crazy. Rollins says hello, brother, and talks about how it's been 14 years since the Shield and everything like this, and just a night like this in Atlanta, it's just the only night that they can really do this.
You call it fate, you call it destiny, you call it whatever you want, but it feels very fitting to me that we are here in this moment in Atlantic City.
Rollins then says he wants a matchup for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He's coming back to collect the championship that he never lost. He got a little sidetracked with the vision, but now he is back on track, and it is time to get things done, and it only makes sense that it's with Roman Reigns. Roman then says that Seth doesn't deserve a title shot. He deserves to be in the back of the line, and he hasn't done anything to deserve a title shot.
Look, you can play that game with everybody else in that locker room. You can't play with me. When it comes to you, I am always at the front of the line. Because for everything that you have done, you owe me.
Be honest, Seth Rollins is that one point in time that Roman just can't get past. And Rollins also mentions that Roman's never beaten him. No matter how many times Roman's tried those 3-4 years where he was on top, Roman never beat Seth. Rollins then says that he can give something to Roman that nobody else can. He's beaten everybody. Roman showed himself. He has WrestleMania main events stretched 10 times over that nobody is ever going to be able to beat. But the one thing that they are going to say about Roman Reigns is that he never beat Seth freaking Rollins, and that right there, that hurts Roman.
I don't want to beat you. I need to beat you. I need my entire family to witness me beating you.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is your Monday Night Raw review. Listen, I thought it was a good episode this week. I really enjoyed it. I'm not lying. I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it. But I really did enjoy it. I'm going to be completely honest with you. That was a really good show. Everything was spaced out really good. Maybe because I was doing other shit like in the background while I was watching it. Because I watched it yesterday when I was home. But I was kind of a little busy doing stuff. I couldn't really get some notes. So I rewatched it this morning so I can like look back and get all my notes together. And yeah, I liked it. The fact that I was able to rewatch an episode of Raw is good in itself, because usually like if it's a bad show, I'm good. I'll just power through the review. But this was a really good episode. Can't wait for SmackDown. I can't wait to see Sami Zayn celebration. I can't wait to see Jacob Fatu confront Solo Sikoa. Like, they're building some good stuff up. I'm excited for it. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about, you know, this whole Roman Seth situation going on for SummerSlam, possibly main event, probably main event. Let me know what you guys think about Oba versus Brock instead of Oba going on and cashing in his King of the Ring opportunity. And where do you think it's gonna go for Oba? When do you think Oba's going to cash cash in that opportunity? Do you think it's going to collide at some point next year? Do you think he'll cash in before the year's over? What do you think is next for Obafemi after he defeats Brock Lesnar? And what y'all thinking about this Maxine Dupree and Austin Theory situation, bro? Because these niggas stay pissing me off, bro. They stay pissing me off.